He moved to the United Kingdom at the age of 10. He went on to school in the UK, grew in the UK, built his entire life in the UK. But after 22 years in the UK, the country he calls home, he is now being asked to leave. How does that happen? And could this happen to anyone? That is a story that we're about to share with you today. This is a very interesting story that hopefully somebody will learn from the story of Ola. Ola came to the UK first with his parents. He was only 10 years old when he arrived in the UK. He only returned back to Nigeria when he was 11. And since then, he has never left the UK. This brother was first granted his residence in the UK in 2003 when he first arrived. The brother got involved in the wrong side of the law. His stay was cancelled in 2006. When his stay was revoked, this guy he was hanging in limbo. Doesn't know what the future holds for him in the UK. However, in 2011, he was granted discretionary leave to remain in the UK, and he thought that everything in his life was fine. However, this guy, he later had 2 children with a British woman that they married in an Islamic wedding. He got married to this woman, and he also has another child from another party. So he told this guy has 3 children, and he is now being asked to leave the children and leave everything that he has worked for, and he is now facing deportation. Hopefully someone might learn from the story of Ola. This is this guy's real name. Ola got into trouble. When he got into trouble, he became homeless at some stage in his life. When he became homeless, he was put into home by a lady who he was friends with. He was living with this lady. He had a disagreement with the lady in front of the lady's daughter, who is very young. Whilst Ola applied for his indefinite leave to remain, that was when he started having trouble. He was waiting for his indefinite leave to remain, and he then found himself homeless. And that was where this woman said, Ola, who she was sheltering, Ola brought out knife in front of her child. He did not even care about the impact of his behavior on this child. Ola told the woman that I would have knifed you if not for the fact that you are a woman. If you were a man, you would not live to tell this story. Ola later pleaded guilty to her free. The court described his behavior as a moment of madness. They could not understand why Ola would do such a thing, especially for someone that was helping him in front of the children. When Ola was asked, Ola, why did you do this? Ola said, well, he had an accident and he suffered a brain injury, and he blamed that injury for his behavior. He said, it's not my fault. It was the injury that I had. That is what is responsible for my behavior. And because Ola went to prison and he served 11 months in prison, because of that, that now triggered deportation. The Home Office then said, you have been in trouble with the law before. You've been involved in violence on several occasions. You will need to leave the country. Meanwhile, normally, you need to serve more than 2 years for you to be asked to leave the country if you do not have British citizen. In the case of Ola, it was only 11 months before you know what, he was asked to leave the country. And that is where this brother, his problem started. His problem started from there. And while all this thing was going on, Ola then met a British girl. They got married in a mosque. And he said to the Home Office, look, you're planning to deport me to Nigeria, a country I have never visited since I was 11. How do you want me to be able to integrate back into Nigeria? What about my children? The children have confirmed that I am actively involved in their lives. How can you deport me to Nigeria when I have 3 children in the UK, when I did my GCSE in the UK, when I've done all my education in the UK, and I don't even have any contact in Nigeria again? Despite the fact that I've done something wrong, allow me to stay in the country because of my children and because I will struggle to adjust in Nigeria. The Home Office insisted that on public ground that you cannot stay in the country when your behavior poses a risk to other people, that despite the fact that you have children, you must leave the country. That is where Ola's trouble started. Ola did everything he's using the right to family life, arguing strongly that he should be allowed to stay in the country because of his 3 children, because he came to the UK as a child and he doesn't have any strong connection in Nigeria. The judge looked at Ola's case and looked at the argument that he was putting forward and said, yes, this man has a case. However, the Home Office countered Ola's case. Now, the question that I'm asking is that, do you think Ola should be allowed to remain in the country, given the fact that he came to the UK when he was a child, he has never visited, he's never been to Nigeria before, and he has lived all his life in the UK? Should he be allowed to stay in the country? That is the question that a lot of people are asking. Whilst Ola's case is going on, report in the last 3 days shows that the UK Home Office is carrying out record numbers of raids. Places are being raided, immigrants are being raided, and the Home Office has said this is just the beginning. And the Home Office have been criticized because they went online and they were advertising online, saying on social media, warning people, advertising the raids that they are carrying out, showing it on social media, saying, if you come to the UK, this is what will happen to you. The raid is going on as we speak today. Lots of people have been raided, and a lot of people are still shocked because this is happening at the same time whilst the numbers of people coming to the UK has dropped significantly, which is why a lot of people are worried about. Now, the question I'm asking is that there is a Nigerian who is being held as we speak today. This person is being held. Things are so bad in the UK that this brother that you're about to see, here is somebody that you're going to be shocked. This is somebody inside.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Hello. Are you okay? You homeless?
This is somebody.
Go to here.
Cold.
It's warm bed for the night. Go there.
I don't know. My phone is dying.
My boss said she'll get you Uber. Go to this lady.
So the question I'm asking is that, do you think that guy would have survived if the guy was left alone there and nobody came? Do you think that he would have survived, given that he is now finding the situation is finding himself? A lot of migrants have been criticizing the government. They have said that in the case of these guys, they said the government invited them to the UK to come and work. Some of them came on the care workers visa. They have not been able to find job. Some of them came with sponsors whose job contract has been cancelled and they find themselves on the street, like the case of this young man you see. Now, while the Home Office is carrying out this raid, this has caused a lot of panic among people from minority community. Do you know anyone who's been affected? The man that you've just seen sleeping outside, do you think that guy would have survived if he was not found by this guy. Let me know what your views are in the comment section. In the case of Ola, should Ola be allowed to stay in the country, knowing full well that he has lived in the UK for 22 years, he's got 3 children in the UK, or should he be sent back? That is the question I'm asking. Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, so that other people can learn, because there are valuable lessons that can be